The world feels like it's being run by idiots.
Please, somebody tag in Donald Trump. Please save me, Donald Trump.
In dear God's name, please.
And some days, it really looks like that.
Arkansas! Minnesota!
But here's the uncomfortable thought. What if that's not the problem? What if the real problem is that we secretly need to believe we're the only ones who can see it? Like we're sitting there thinking everyone else is clueless, but not me. Which is already a bit suspicious if you think about it, because that exact thought is something almost everyone believes.
Kiki, do you love me? Mamberoy, may tarajari.
Open your phone for 5 minutes and suddenly everyone is an expert. Politics, psychology, nutrition, space, doesn't matter. One scroll and you'll see someone explaining something complex with absolute confidence. And the weird part is, it sounds convincing, not because it's true, but because it's confident. And slowly you start noticing something uncomfortable. It's not the smartest people speaking the most, it's the loudest ones. The internet didn't fix this, it amplified it. Now anyone can sound like an expert.
If you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out. I hope this lesson is helpful. Thank you.
Without being one. And this is where it gets interesting. There's a psychological effect for this, the Dunning-Kruger effect. The less someone knows, the more certain they feel, because they don't know enough to doubt themselves. Meanwhile, the people who actually understand the topic, they sound uncertain. They say things like, it depends. There are multiple factors, and everyone scrolls past them. Because uncertainty sounds like weakness. So we end up in a strange situation. We trust confidence more than accuracy, and that's how someone can be completely wrong and still sound like the most convincing person in the room. Now here's where things get uncomfortable. Imagine a leader speaking, not polished, not overly careful, maybe even making mistakes, and people react instantly. He's just like us. But what if that reaction is exactly the point? Because the simpler someone seems, the less threatening they feel, and the less threatening they feel, the less you question them. Think about how this shows up everywhere now. A clip that feels unfiltered, a speech that sounds improvised, a post that looks like it wasn't overthought. All of it designed, or at least optimized, to feel normal. But here's the twist. Authenticity doesn't have to be real. It just has to feel real. And the more ordinary someone appears, the more power they can quietly accumulate. That's the contradiction. We assume power looks strong, but sometimes power looks effortless, almost careless. There's even an old idea behind this. Some thinkers argue that appearing weaker can be a strategy, not because someone is weak, but because people lower their guard. And once that happens, you don't need to force anything anymore. You just guide the situation. We trust people who feel familiar. We relax around people who don't seem too serious. And in that relaxation, we stop analyzing what's actually being said. Maybe the most effective influence doesn't look like control at all. Maybe it looks like normal conversation, like humor, like memes, like, I'm just like you.